Welcome everyone, I hope you're all doing fantastic, and today we are going to be having Caradoc leading the forces of Grand Cathay going up against Kislev, here on Broken Leg Gully, where artillery can certainly dominate. Now of course both sides do have artillery in abundance, and I'll probably give the advantage here to Grand Cathay. They're going to be cheaper, more cost efficient, and can certainly do very well here on this long line of sight. Now for the front line we are going to have cheap peasant long spearmen, 3 units in total, backed also up by the triple Jade Warriors with the sword and shield. Now in the sky we are going to have the Lord of Yang, one of the most cost efficient lords in the game. They are going to be having the Might of Heaven and Earth, a spell we'll come back to a little bit later, the Dragon's Breath and the Jade Shield. Of course you can see that intensity buff up to 160%, and that's going to be due to the Mastery of Element Winds, which we'll also revisit. Here was also Arcane Conduit and the Jade Amulet, going to be giving those power reserves and then also power recharge rate. In the back, we are going to have the double Wooshing Wall Compass, backed up by the trees here, as well as the double Astromancer, here with the Cloak of Po-Mi. So the bad boys here giving 60% power recharge rate for magic when out of combat. Here as well, we are going to have the Nexus of Element Winds, giving an extra 20%, plus also the bound spells of the Celestial Comet and the Celestial Lightning. In the back, we are going to have the Jade Warrior Crossbows, 1 unit of the Cheap Peasants, and then the double Iron Hail Gunners. So good armor piercing, very good, sort of variety here coming out of Caradoc, cheap and cheerful and super wide. You can certainly dominate the battlefield with this mass harmony buff. So pretty standard here coming from Kislev. We are going to have the double light war sleds, of course, getting debuffed but still very powerful. And then we're going to be very cheap and cheerful coming from the side of Grand Cathay. We're certainly going to benefit there with good anti-infantry armor piercing in melee. So double little Groms here for the good artillery pieces. On such a map like this, we can do some great damage indeed. We are going to have 1 unit of Cossars in the back. They're going to have no armor, but they have so much good cheap range. In the middle, we are going to have the Lord Choice with the Arcane Conduit, the Freezing Winds, and for the Ice Magic, we are going to be having Hawks of Miska, the Gust of True Flight, Hailstorm, and then the Guardian Call for the Snow Leopard Summon. Over here on the right, 2 units of the Winged Lancers, good armor, and of course Bronze Shield just to negate a lot of those missiles. Now here the Tempest Magic is going to be pretty decent up against most of the cheap infantry, as the Hawks of Miska do come in with that Discourage, which is negative 16 leadership. So that can be very powerful up against cheap peasants. Now we talked here about the Mastery of Element Winds. So the Lord of Yang does get this ability, and any other casters. So there's going to be 5 present here thanks to the double Wooshing Wall Compass and the double Astromancer. So with the Cloak of Po-Mi, we get that 60% power recharge, the Nexus giving an extra 20%, so that's going to be a buff there of 140% on top of the casting buff, and then Arcane Conduit. So somewhere in the region, I think it's about 340% when we're casting of the power regen. So it's so much power regen here on magic. Plus the ability of the Master of Element Winds is going to be giving a buff, so for every extra one you have, you get plus 15%. So that's why we're going to be up to 160% here of magic damage, which is going to be super strong up against units like Winged Lancers. We're going to be getting that Dragon's Breath down the line and deleting a lot of the cavalry. So we can skip on here a little bit. You can see the cannon's going to be shooting, going into sort of 3 forces here, a mid force, a left force from Caradoc, and a right force. We can see the Peasant Long Spearmen and the crossbows charging over to try and see if they can push out the Winged Lancers. It looks like here, the Peasant Long Spearmen, they're going to be charging in. They're going to have those pokey sticks ready to go. It does look like, unfortunately, the Kislev player isn't aware. They're going to be in this gorgeous blue, getting shot from behind. Shield's not really going to be helping. They're kind of facing in the wrong direction. And here we go. Pokey sticks ready. Going to be stabbing right into the backside of the Winged Lancers. And hopefully we can get these out here quickly, otherwise it's going to get pretty devastating. Yeah, there we go. They are going to get out there. That's pretty nice. So dominating the map, we do see that we have Light War Sleds here on Domination point 1, Winged Lancers on point 3, and then Cossars coming forward to point 2. In the middle, we have the Lord Choice ready to go. She's going to be here today on a Polar Bear, looking pretty gangster here, sitting side on, just riding dirty. Now we are going to have the force coming forward. You can see that the light war sleds getting those, heavily armored piercing shots forward up against the peasants. They're going to be doing some pretty good damage in the trees, but so we have a summon of the Jade Lancers. They'll be able to hop up and round and compromise these light war sleds. They have great mass, good armor, and shields that are really going to put a hurting here on light war sleds. In the back, we see a summon of the Strutzy and a unit of the Warbear Riders. So we'll be able to charge forward. The good anti-large armor-piercing snipers will be ready to go. And would you look at this? We're going to be bringing in a Skyjunk. Fantastic. Of course, we do have the Shooty Shooty in the nest, which I believe actually does come with Shield Breaker, which removes the shields there from your opponent, 622 missile strength, and they actually got a bar from 15 ammo up to 20 ammo. Fire damage as well to really kind of negate all of that healing, but not too much present here today. Also, quite a nice ability is going to be the Eye of the Dragon. That's going to be forest spotting at 100%, which is going to be really nice here for the trees on the side. Of course, it means Kislev can't get in the trees and try and hide. You can see they're going up to the high ground now with the Winged Lancers, but the Grand Cathay player is going to be able to see that, which actually is quite a sneaky little tactic. I quite like that. So Jade Warriors, Peasant Long Spearmen, and the Wuxing Wall Compass in the back. We are going to be moving up here on the right-hand side. We've captured Domination Point 3. The middle, it looks like it's actually going to be getting captured. Although it says red, it is going to be in the Grand Cathay favour. We beat back the Cossars. We're going to be charging forward with the Jade Warriors, shields high, as they get shot by the Streltsy that are, holding really strong here. They're going to need to hold quite strong because there's only artillery in behind them. Warbears coming around the flank. They could butcher a lot of the Ironhand gunners very quickly here. Oh, that's a lot of damage on the Streltsy. That was a beautiful Dragon's Breath there down the side. You can see Shield Breaker has been activated as they're going to be getting shot there by the nest. But Domination Point 1 is also going to be in Grand Cathay's favour. So the triple cap here coming from Grand Cathay. Also going to be having 2,100 supplies in the pocket. And I don't mind saving them sometimes. If you're winning, just make sure you bring in the right units at the right moment. So in the middle here, it looks like we're going to get a bombardment spell here coming from the Tempest Caster. Don't quite know what that ability is. That there is going to be Hailstorm. Oh, I really like Hailstorm. I think it's actually quite a powerful ability. Great armor piercing. And here, backed up by Hawks of Miska, you could really mix it in if it's good elite heavy armored infantry. That's where you bring in Hailstorm. But of course, if it's cheap, you bring in the Hawks of Miska and you get that good debuff from leadership. Going to be charging forward here with the Snow Leopard. I might be fighting here, perhaps up against the Jade Warriors. Of course, it does have pretty good armor piercing, so I can get in there and do a good job. Looks like the Jade Warrior Crossbow is also going to be fighting in, so we'll be giving debuffs there from the Harmony of Yang, but, don't really want your Jade Warriors fighting in combat. In the middle, we are going to have Warbear Riders fighting up against Jade Warriors, and the Winged Lancer is going to be breaking in the back here from the second unit. Holding on here with the By Our Blood is going to be the Streltsy. They're going to be really struggling in the middle. Not too much for them to shoot. Maybe a bit of a rotation might be necessary. Snow Leopard coming to the battlefield. He'll be up and around. Maybe trying to see if we can get into the back. I don't think there's any casters here. Just going to be the one in the sky, I think. So maybe we could try and come and fight up against the Terracotta Sentinel, or maybe get in the back here and compromise the Wuxing Wall Compass. Oh, look at this! The Wuxing Wall Compass is going to be fighting up against the Winged Lancers. I love it! Get those balls. They've seen much combat in their time. And, yeah, it's going to be a little bit janky here on the movement, but they're going to be moving around, doing all the good things. I don't think there's any... Is there anybody in control? Oh, there is. There's a little caster here in the middle. He's ready to go. I love these things. They're so fun. They're very... I think they actually got a buff. I think they went from 1,100 down to 800, but I still don't think they're worth it. But either way, I absolutely love it. Carolot bringing the absolute Chad plays. So in the middle, we have the double Little Grom doing quite nicely. 92 and 69 kills. Ooh la la. And we're going to be having 6 ammunition and 4 ammunition left. So not too much here. At the top, we have the extremely long line here. We're going to call that the lunch line of the Streltsy, getting ready for their school meals. And in the middle, we are going to have Armoured Corsairs backed up by the Ice Witch, and eventually we are going to maintain control here of Domination Point 1. So at Point 2, it looks like we are going to be losing it here for Grand Cathay, and we are going to be, though, 2,600 tickets against 100. So, yeah, we definitely need to start taking the middle here. We will be getting plus 10 supplies per second here for Kislev, so it's going to be a big advantage. Plus 50% really does make the difference. So Winged Lancers charging forward, Warbear Riders, and they need to do this. Grand Cathay is super slow, so get forward, pin them in their base, keep them at the reinforcement points, and prevent them from getting the forces to the front line. But I really like this. We're going to be pushing at the front, causing, kind of a lot of a mock here on the left-hand side. We do see the Snow Leopards fighting here, compromising the Jade Warrior crossbows, and we have the Winged Lancers fight up against Jade Warriors. It's going to be a bit of a heavily armoured fest that I don't really think favours anybody. It's just going to be armour on armour, mass slaughter, and just a waste of plate armour, if you ask me. Now, in the middle, we are going to have the Terracotta Sentinel. He's going to be fighting here up against the Ice Witch, and the Patriarch has been brought to the battlefield, and he's going to be on the Polar Bear. What an absolute gangster play. Absolutely love this. And he's going to be having the Brazier, as well here as the Rabbi, the Courage of Sacrifice, and pretty much everything else. So the Battle Hymn, Lullaby, also with the Song of Winter's Sunlight and the Urson's Roar. So he's going to be coming with everything on the table And this here is a fight of pure gangstery. Now we can see the Patriarch going up against the Terracotta. I'd love to see like some attack animations going between the two of them. I'd love to see the bear get back up on his hind legs and start charging with those tusks and just bang right into the middle here of the Terracotta. And the Terracotta just fights back by kicking him across the map or something. Something really cool would be quite awesome. But Armored Corsairs losing to Jade Warriors here in the middle, the Sword and Shield. They get some pretty nice buffs with their Harmony. I can think they get up to something like 53 melee defense. They could be absolutely absurd here on domination points. And they're now going to be fighting against the Streltsy in the back. They have good AP. Not too great on the melee stats. 28 on 28 is not terrible, considering they do have the battle axes on the back of their guns. But here we go. The Light War Slayers charging through, and this is what we need. Don't want them stacking on top of each other, but they want them cycling through the infantry front line, doing all the damage and disrupting a lot of the forces. Good damage on the Terracotta. We are going to charge through. Can't leave just yet. Look at the slashes on the floor. I love the design. But he's going to be down here to 900 health. He's really going to be struggling up against the Patriarch. I want to see one big overhead slam here before he finishes. No, looks like we're going to get a Wind Blade as we just slice through the Patriarch down to 2,900 HP. I think he's going to be regenerating slightly here. With the Terracotta, he's going to be at 140, 120, and I believe here he is going to be falling. He's going to be holding, though, actually. 100, and there we go. He does fall. And there we go. He's going to be falling in slow-mo as he goes back here to his solid state. There's just going to be death absolutely everywhere on Domination Point 1. And Domination Point 2 is going to be the Kislev favor. We see Jade Warrior Halberds coming forward. We have crossbows with shields getting compromised by Light War Sleds. Jade Warriors really struggling as well. What do we have here to kind of counteract all this gameplay? So Domination Point 3 is going to be getting compromised by the Armored Corsairs. We do have the Xing War Compass, the Chad of old. He's going to be holding here, but he's going to be getting shot at close range. It's not looking too good. Oh, no, looks like they put away the pistols as they get rear charged here by the Lord of Yang. He's going to be coming through. A little bit of a magic punch to the face there up against one of the Cossacks. He wasn't too happy about that. But Streltsy, yeah, they're going to be butchering for sure. It looks like here it's going to be a fight of the Tempest going up against the caster of the Xing War Compass. It's going to be 160 weapon strength up against 250. I don't know why he's been debuffed actually, but she's going to be struggling here just a little bit. Dragon's Breath down the line here of the Armored Corsairs, and a nice rear charge there from the Lord of Yang. Hopefully trying to see if we can finish off. I apologise for the shine, but it looks like here, yeah, Jade Shield has been used on the Lord choice, and we do finish off the Lord. So, yeah, very nice stuff there coming in from Caradoc. Warbear Rider's coming up to the top, and that's going to be the end there of the Xing War Compass. He definitely wants to hightail out of there. So Kislev now coming through with the triple cap. 3,700 here for Caradoc up against 2.5k here for the Kislev player. But look at this, mass infantry coming forward, Jade Warriors plus also Jade Warrior crossbows, more crossbows in the back, getting forward, getting ready here to dominate the battlefield. And we do see a bunch of halberds kind of grinding down Little Grom. I think with all the ammo gone from Little Grom, might even be worth just desummoning it and getting the ammo back, allowing it to regen, and then getting it back on the battlefield. Light War Sleds could probably say the same actually. A lot of their punch really does come from their missiles. We see Cavalry getting into the back. Cavalry really wants to charge down the Jade Warriors. Definitely want to summon in here maybe some halberds to maybe counteract the charge here of the Winged Lancers. Jade Warriors, they're probably going to turn and burn. Hopefully they can shoot here. You can see the leadership is not going to be favouring them too much. Quite nicely though, we are going to get the buff to the Yang Harmony. Of course, 60 meters is going to be the effect that they can be buffing each other. Oh, they're going to be able to shoot here. They should get a lot of damage here on the Winged Lancers. We do see a charge of the Jade Lancers as they go to meet the Winged Lancers, which is a nice pin in there. And yeah, there we go. It's going to be a little bit of a hammer and anvil tactic. We slam in there with the anvil, and the hammer is going to be the Jade Warriors. They're going to be firing in from behind, and that should be all they wrote there about the Winged Lancers. So Domination Point 3 is going to be captured. We do actually have some of the cheapest and the best Peasant Long Spearmen charging on the front. The Lord Choice is going to be compromising the Streltsy, and in the back the Warbear Riders stand no chance here up against the might of the Xing War Compass. The big bag terrifying boy here on the back right is going to be doing the damage. 160 weapon strength, just bombing on top of the Warbear Riders. Fantastic stuff. The middle going to get captured here thanks to the Peasant Long Spears and the Mash Jade Warriors. They're going to be doing the dirty work here. For the Bear Riders, they're going to be a huge problem. Now, of course, they are very tired, so they're really going to be struggling at this point. But I think we might have it here. Looks like it's going to be a summon. We are going to get the Snow Leopard. Oh, the Lord Choice, it comes back. Fantastic. The Tempest Caster looks like it has more magic in the pocket, so it was resummoned. And here we go. We are going to get the Hawks of Miska, giving that negative leadership thanks to Discourage. It's a really nice ability. That's going to be breaking the Peasant Long Spearmen nice and quickly. might be able to give us the opportunity to capture the middle. But 4,200 points to Caradoc up against 4,060 here for the Kislev player. It couldn't be closer even if you asked it to be. Peasant Longspearmen going to be fighting here up against Armored Corsairs. Not their best matchup, I'll give it to them, but still they're going to be fighting like the true champions of old, and it is going to be kind of, you know, moving around the forces here of Kislev, forcing the Patriarch, the Snow Leopard, to come up and have to deal with this infantry unit. And that's going to be, you know, kind of moving around the forces here of Kislev and preventing them from catching the middle. Good damage here on the Jade Warrior Halberds. The Jade Warriors also going to be dropping. Now we're going to be capturing with Kislev, but as you can see, more Jade Warriors coming to the front line. The true heroes as they dive forward. The cheap men of Cathay going to be just maintaining these capture points. And at the top, Little Grom's still going quite strong. Corsairs and Streltsy going to be falling here. At the top, the Wuxing Wall Compass is still holding. I have no idea. Fighting up against Warbears that are designed for armor piercing and anti-large. And this thing is still going. It's only got 20 melee defense. I don't know how it's doing it, but you know what? It definitely got training from the dragons, that's for sure. This thing is an absolute menace. Just trawling through and using the Peasant Longspearmen to the best of their abilities. They're going to be holding the point here. It looks like it's going to be 5 ticks away. So GG's and well played to Grand Cathay and my boy, Caradoc. Very nice to see you back in the game, my champ. It's really nice to see some replays coming from you, so thank you very much for sending this one in. And yeah, the Lord Choice, it did some work for sure. Those Dragon Breath attacks are super powerful. Very, very good there with the 160 buff. 3,560 damage value there for the Dragon-Blooded Lord of Yang. So very good work. 0 and apparently 0 from both Astromancers. So they were in the trees for the whole time. 53 from one of the Wuxing Wall Compass, and the last one only getting 410. Absolutely love it. This boy, just pure carnage over there on the back domination point. 250 for the Jade Warriors with the crossbows. 800, 250, and 450 for the Jade Warriors. Iron Hell Gunners coming in at 41, 450, with the Peasant Archers coming in at 185. 380, 600, and 525 for the Peasant Long Spearmen. And for the reinforcements, the Terracotta, who looked absolutely gangster. I loved him fighting against the Patriarch. That was super fun indeed. But 1.2k for him, 605 for the Skyjunk. Definitely a man, a myth, a meme. But he came on and he did the work. Oh my god, 2,300 for the Jade Lancers. Dear god, yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. What a performance. What an absolute performance. 340 from the crossbows, with 1.6k for the halberds as well. Very nice stuff. With 420, 250 there for the Jade Warriors with the crossbows. Sword and Shield got 400 and 330. Peasant Archers coming in at 250, 113 with the Spearmen at 520 and 470. Ice Witch of Tempest got 1,370. I really like these spell choices. I thought they were quite smart. The Hailstorm plus the Hawks of Miska, both really doing quite nicely here on the battlefield, of course. You do get pretty good leadership there for Jade Warriors. It's not immense, but it's okay. So Hawks and Miska is not going to do as well. So having the Hailstorm to deal with armor is a really, really nice play. 117 kills for 1,100 and 180 kills for 1,500. Little Grom, of course, still very powerful. 1.3k for the Light War Sleds, 1.7k for the Light War Sleds. A lot of people say that these, of course, with their reduction in armor, has made them better at charging through units. Yes and no, it's just made them a little bit less tanky. And then, of course, they've gone up in cost. So where they kind of sit, they're still very powerful. And I think they're still a big choice here for Kislev. 274 kills. That's an immense amount of kills here for these Winged Lancers. Coming in at 1,000. 150 kills for 1,200. And only 105 there for the Corsairs. I think it was a breath attack that completely destroyed them. 550 there for the Patriarch. He, sort of fought very bravely here up against the Terracotta Sentinel. Got to give that to him. With 1,300 for the Warbear Riders. 800 for the Winged Lancers. Streltsy coming in at 1,730 and 800. Very, very good picks. These bad boys can fight in combat. They shoot incredibly well and have good range. Very, very big fan of Streltsy. They're very strong. 510, 400 for the Armored Corsairs, with 950 for the Snow Leopard. In my opinion, is also really underrated. This bad boy can do extremely well for sure. So, GG's and well played to both of these champions. Thank you very much, Caradoc, for sending it in. And if you guys like this, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. But of course, if you do comment, please do be kind. If you haven't already, do check out that description where you can find all my other social media platforms, including my Twitch and my Discord, so you can come vote on all the content here in the future, or leave a replay for casting, so you can hopefully see it here on the YouTube in the future. Other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.